From Tally to Cali,
It's time
to wake up.
Wake up! Wake up! Warchant.com is your ultimate Seminole sports source.
And this is Wake Up Warchant, fueled by DeLuna Coffee.
Coffee's for closers only.
Now here's Warchant.com's Aslan Hajavandi
And Corey Clark.
Wake up at 7:30 p.m. on the East Coast on a Wednesday night. As our pillar, James Biso, astutely points out, Dan Corey, now this is dedication, sir. Game 4 is on in 50 minutes. LOL, go Braves. So if you're here for Corey Clark reaction on a Thursday morning to the Braves game, well, this is all being done live on YouTube on a Wednesday night. He's Corey Clark.
But understand, I'm disappointed because they lost Game 4, 9-2. It's Enoa going against a guy that won 20 games, so probably not going to go well for the Bravos. But you know what? I say that. They're going to win. They're going to win tonight, gang. They're going to. I have all the confidence in the world that an Atlanta sports team is going to come back from a horrific loss and just move on, flush it, go on and win the next game.
That's Corey Clark. I'm Aslan Hajavandi. It's Wake Up Warchant, fueled by DeLuna Coffee. Visit DeLunaCoffee.com. Use the promo code WARCHANT15 when you're over there, and enjoy some delicious treats. Let's go and show you what we usually opt for. We usually go for the bundle. It's right there. Boom. You're like, oh,
look at that tumbler. Look at that tumbler game.
Yeah, what's that? You're like, oh, what's that purple bag of magic? Well, that's Graffiti Bridge, y'all. Graffiti Bridge is $15 for the common folk, but with that 15% coupon, you'll save some money. It's a single origin bean, 100% Colombian. Pretty solid. Pretty solid. So head over to DeLunaCoffee.com. Get your coffee fix done. Heard Jeff Cameron shout them out on his show on Wednesday. Jeff said it's delicious. Jeff's a real
Jeff would know. He is a connoisseur. So if he gives you the stamp of approval, it's the real deal.
Yeah. So do you want to shout out somebody before we delve into everything today, Corey?
No, we'll do that later.
Okay, cool. All right. Yeah, hold that microphone closer to you, man.
How about this? Is this better? Yeah. I forgot I was talking without the mic being on right next to me.
It is legitimately much better. So you wrote up a little story after practice on Wednesday, Mike Norvell. You didn't write about what Coach Norvell said after practice. He was a little bit, he wants to see a little bit more consistency from his guys. Says he's sick and tired of this up and down. I'm like, hey, Mike, come on, man. Chill out. I feel a little bit, I don't want to say vindicated, but we had somebody send me a DM through warchant.com, the ultimate Seminole sports source. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe to our YouTube channel, subscribe to the website, where he's like, I don't know if you're being sarcastic or not on the Tuesday show about how this offense looks unstoppable, but chill out. You're being crazy. And I was like, well, tell you, man, they looked really good at practice on Tuesday. And when I see Jordan Travis play quarterback, I have flashbacks to running dual threat quarterbacks that gave Florida State trouble in the past. I almost want to equate him to a Nick Marshall right now, the way they're using him in a multitude of ways in practice. Where I was like, how do you it's hard to defend all that. I mean, listen, Nick Marshall didn't win the Heisman. He didn't win the national championship. Teams do find ways to stop you eventually, but it's so much different, a multitude of ways and multitude different levels to attack them. Like, man, maybe they just got this whole thing figured out. And he said that he thought when he looked at the tape on Tuesday, that was the best practice they've had since he's been here. But Wednesday left something to be desired. I'm not worried. I still think they're going to cover. But Jordan Travis, back to him, you wrote about him. Confidence, the big word for him right now, right?
Yeah, he was asked about the way he's throwing the ball, I guess, or just the way he's playing the position overall, and he said he feels very, very confident. And then he went into what he normally does, which was to credit his teammates and his family and his coaches. But the first answer was all about his confidence and his personal confidence. And yeah, man, that's a big thing. You need a lot of confidence to play that position. I thought what was interesting is when he was talking about how he always viewed himself as a game day player and not so much a practice player. And then watching McKenzie, and then he even brought up James Blackman, but watching those guys every day and the way they practice has kind of reinforced to him that, yeah, man, what you do Sunday to Friday matters a lot. And maybe he didn't know, maybe he didn't have that mindset until he became the bona fide number one starting quarterback at Florida State. And now he realizes what it means, and he needs to bring it every day. You can't be up and down. You need to be good every day. You can't just be a game day quarterback. So that was interesting to me that he admitted that he didn't really it's not that he wasn't taking practice seriously. I don't know. Maybe that's what he was trying to say, but that it's different now. And he views practice differently now, and that's only good. That's the only positives can come from that.
I don't know how to navigate this without like sounding rude, so I'll abort on that thought. But this is a guy that we saw. This is a guy that we heard the staff talk about really in just glowing terms during spring about his accuracy being improved, about his footwork being so much better. Like at no point were we given any indication that Jordan Travis is a guy that's not bringing it every single day to practice, which is why it's hard to kind of, jive up what he said Wednesday to what we've heard from the coaches, how we've seen him practice. Now, listen, there's been days he's missed practice before we've gotten to this point. He's been more consistent with his availability of late. However, like I haven't seen. I mean, again, maybe mentally he just feels more confident. Maybe he's more at peace. I think that the bigger takeaway for me was him admitting that after the Notre Dame game he got down. That to me, and you've talked about it, and Kenny talked about it, I think maybe even 2-3 weeks ago, where, yeah, man, listen, these guys are 21, 20 years old, and you hear 60,000 people cheer for the other guy. That's going to hurt, man. Like, for real. Like, that's something to be ashamed of. And he probably did need some way to work through that. And I don't know what happened, but that was obviously a problem for him. I think even Ira saw, with his binoculars during the Jacksonville State game, communication maybe not going all that well with him coming in and out of the game. So maybe now that that's behind him, I think that's probably the biggest thing. But I don't want to put words in his mouth, but that's what I took away from it.
Yeah, I mean, he did again. He did it like Jordan Travis, though. He admitted he was down after the Notre Dame game, and then went right back into not expounding on it. But that's we're getting at least a sentence or two of genuine Jordan Travis until he dives back into Russell Wilson. So that's cool. And by next year, we're going to get full paragraphs from the guy, because I do get the idea that he has a legitimate, a really good personality. He just doesn't want to share it with us yet, but it might happen. What's the matter with you? Did you get a headache? Did you get an ice cream rush or something?
Let's go,
man. Well, that's a good start, Joel Davis. Man, what? All right, Joel. There's some crypto. You can put that in your Kraken account, Aslan.
Dollar bills, y'all.
Why are you yelling, Aslan? Why are you yelling? Joel Davis off
the great Joel Davis. Yeah,
off the top rope of a ring on top of One World Trade Center with an elbow that Macho Man would blush at. 499.99 American currency. Joel, dude, Bubby, let's talk.
Bubby,
how do I get on the pillar? Corey, do we do a one? I mean, can one act of kindness, of gratitude, of generosity get you on this thing?
Here's what I think about that, Joel. I don't know how long you and I can't even. I don't even know what to say to that. That's unbelievable, man. Thank you very, very, very much. We all thank you at Warchant, keeping the lights on.
Joel, I love you, man. Come on, let's go.
I don't know that you get on the pillar for a one-off though, and I'm not saying like you got to keep giving us money. What I'm saying is, does Joel watch the show every day? Is he like? Because I feel like a pillar isn't just the people that give money; they're the people that have been with us for a long time too. It goes, but they're a pillar of the show financially, sure, but they're also just a pillar of the show personality wise. And I want to make sure I think that gets you on. I just want to make sure that you're going to be around for a while, Joel. I want you to ask get some real questions. We get to answer some real questions too. But that's crazy, man. That's very, very, very generous. Very generous.
I don't want to. I take it back saying one off. I'm fairly sure Joel's given a 3-figure sum before on the show. So
well then yeah, you're there.
First rodeo, but yeah, man. I don't know. You're gonna be up. You want to be here for the Miami game, Joel? I'll bring this a CP on Friday for the happy hour, which will be happening.
He'll bring it to your hotel
as well. Yeah,
he'll take it to your seat in the stadium. You will get to sign that thing, buddy. You will get to sign that thing for sure.
By the way, all my delivered coffee got knocked off my desk. It's still around here, but it's all here on the pillar. Joel, you're the man. We're going to keep your name on the screen for a little bit. That's all I can really do other than saying thank you and then mashing this button a few more times.
And just know,
Okay.
Joel, some of that money will be, we're hoping to funnel it to Travis Hunter.
Okay, well, I was going to go one direction, but let's go to this other direction here. This comes from Facebook. It's Nick. We want to say how you want to pronounce his last name.
Weber.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's only one B. Kind of want to say Weber.
Yeah, I still think
don't
that's
know,
Weber, like Weber Grills. I still think that's
Is it?
1B.
Are they?
Yeah.
I thought they were Weber. They're Weber.
And I
Grills?
feel like the bowlers, the bowling family, Pete Weber, whoever that is, I think that's 1B too.
Is that who do you think you are? I am.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe.
That's the man. All right, Nick Weber. Georgia's flipped some pretty good recruits in the last 24 hours, maybe 48 hours. Any worry about Travis Hunter? Give him a statue at FSU to get his butt here.
I would do literally whatever it takes. And that sounds like I'm being hyperbolic. I'm exaggerating. Whatever he asks for, he's getting. If he wants a statue, if he wants his own house, if he wants his whatever he wants, he's getting. But yeah, I think the difference, they did flip. Georgia flipped an in-state recruit that was committed to USC. Well, USC he doesn't know who the coach is going to be. Like, there's a lot more instability at USC. I can't remember who the other Georgia recruit was, but that kid was, and he's a 5-star. Somehow he was Columbus, Georgia, 5-star, committed to USC. But anyway, USC lost its coach, so they lost their 5-star. Florida State is not going to lose its coach, almost certainly. So there's a little more stability at Florida State. But yeah, man, you're always worried. You're always worried when there's somebody that good and your record isn't maybe on par with the other schools that are recruiting that kid. But I mean, at some point we just take the kid at his word, right? Like, he has been emphatic since day one. He has not wavered at all. He is coming. He just reiterates over and over and over that he's going to Florida State. So let's take him at his word. But you better hold on to that word, Travis Hunter. I don't want to have to call you Benedict Hunter.
All right, moving along, Curtis Parker. He's a real human being that exists on Facebook, but I mean, this is a Joel Davis hour right now. Most improved player on offense and defense at the halfway point. He offers his, says mine would be Ward and Deloach. Trayshawn Ward, Kalen Deloach. Why ask questions you already have the answers to, Curtis Parker? I mean, that
seems
answer,
right. I feel like those are the right answers, right? I think Deloach. Deloach was just somebody that he wasn't even on my radar in the spring. Like, I was like, it's not that I'd forgotten he was on the team. I just was like, this guy's he's not it. But and who knows how much it plays out differently if Emmett Rice is available, but he's not. And I feel like Deloach has been the best linebacker, and he's been decent. He hasn't been. They're not great at linebacker. He's not great, but I feel like he's the best of the bunch, and he's made some really nice plays, including there at the end against North Carolina on that 4th down play. He read that thing perfectly, man. That's a player making a play, forcing Howell to throw it instead of run it in, and it was a bad throw, or it was knocked down by Noles. So yeah, and then Ward, I don't even know who would be second on that list. And is he improved, or is he just getting a chance? Who knows? But he's been dynamic. He's been really good.
I mean, there's only one game, but I'd say Jarian Jones can maybe be a nominee. We'll see if he can string together.
We'll see we'll give him the second half award, or maybe Travis J, somebody like that. Somebody that hasn't done much in the first half. Maybe they take a huge leap in the second half.
Rob Krause says that life and time is a flat circle. 6 weeks after Jackson, has it been 6 weeks? Good
Feels
Lord.
like it.
6 weeks after Jacksonville State, we're right back to where we were. Lots of praise, feeling good, heavy favorite over a bad cupcake. This game is where we find out the staff truly has learned their lesson. Yeah, I mean, do we really think that Adam Fuller or anybody involved in this program is ever going to be in another game again where on the last play they're not lined up 3-4 deep on the goal line? Like, I don't know what the lesson was.
And they won't play 2 quarterbacks at once in the backfield at the same time. Hey, let me go plug in my Ethernet cord, Aslan. You take care of some housekeeping.
I'll try.
Ray.
I'll try. Oh my gosh! What? What are we doing? What? This is the worst podcast ever, probably. I'm sorry. But Ray H-Town. I heard James B. called me out. My goodness, as an aside, Corey has been right about Jordan Travis all along. He has been. He has. And then, I don't know, Gregor. Oh, my God. Gregor.
Oh, Ray, man. Oh, Ray Pereira.
I mean,
people are going to think Joel Davis was like a plant just to bring Ray Pereira out. But yeah, man, Ray, you're the man. You're all the man. It's incredible what you guys do for our site and for our company, but it is never taken for granted. It is always appreciated. Thank you. Thank you for real.
I mean, was it Abraham Lincoln or Axl Rose asked, where do we go? Where do we go now?
I think it was Axl Rose. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you want to take I don't want to jinx, but our guy, I think I used to snipe with him every now and then on the show. He comes back and brings it up. But Gregory Morand, I'd pop your question up, but Ray Pereira owns this. He owns me now. I mean, practically owns me. So what happens? He asked, what happens if this happens again with Travis? I know, Gregor, if you want to expound, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but if I had to, I mean, I guess what happens if he gets hurt again or falls out of confidence? I don't know, Gregor. Let us know. We'll talk about the Jordan Travis.
Or maybe he's talking about Hunter. He could be talking about Hunter. I don't know.
Oh,
there's so many Travises around. It could be Travis J for all we know.
Yeah, specify. So, Corey, what was it? What did the Coracle see that, actually, Gene Williams was the OG of all this. I think he actually had Jordan winning the quarterback competition last year over James Blackman and Chuba.
Yeah.
I was Team Chuba.
Yeah.
He was the pioneer of that. Was there anything that stood with you, that stood out, that made you kind of back this kid from the jump?
No, just honestly, just the numbers, the production. I saw it too. I know it didn't look as smooth as you'd want, but I've been around this program now for the whole time. But these last 5 years, there haven't been many players that put up 30 points at quarterback. This kid does it seemingly every week, or has so far. He averages 35 a game. Everybody else that's played, all of them had averaged 16, 17 a game. So it's just different with him. He gives you an option that you don't have with other guys. He is a dynamic runner, not just a mobile guy. Like Spencer Rattler can run, right? He can move a little bit, but he's not a dynamic runner like Jordan Travis is. It's different. So I thought that that was getting a little bit too easily dismissed because of some of the stuff he couldn't do, and we weren't maybe appreciating some of the stuff he can do well, like move the ball and put up points. With some punts and some other stuff mixed in there too. But yeah, I wanted to go back to the question before Ray Pereira. Ray, seriously, ask questions. You and Joel can just ask questions the whole show and we'll answer them. But about I do think this is. I wrote about that. That was my column was a couple of days ago about what is this program going to learn from that Jacksonville State game, because they have been here before. They did feel good, real good, about after that Notre Dame game, and then they looked awful for 4 quarters. Really for 7 of 8 quarters after that. So I want to see how they handle this. I want to see how they handle success and feeling good about themselves, because success is all relative too, man. They're a 2-4 football team. I know they feel good about themselves, but you're 2-4. You shouldn't feel that good, and you shouldn't look past anyone. So hopefully they won't. That's what I'm hoping for. That's what I'm hoping to see. Maybe a little growth from what we saw, a month ago, 5 weeks ago, whenever that was.
Man, it's coming in fast and furious over here. Let's try to keep maybe some pace so we can get everybody on the screen. Somebody wanted me to talk smack about Florida after beating LSU in a Coach O voice. Give me a script. I'll read it. Joseph Arnold, you're welcome. Looking out for the people. Over under Florida State 45 points. I say over, Corey. Over.
They need to go up and put up 55 or 60 or something, man. Go have an emphatic showing and play well.
He was ahead of everybody, Eric Angel, but just look at this. Everybody's just dropping dollars. $50 from our dude in the Queen City. That's Cincinnati. He's leaving tomorrow night, today, as you're listening to this on the podcast on Thursday for Tallahassee. You're coming to Tallahassee on a Thursday for the UMass game? Look at this guy.
Get here early. Soak it all in, Eric. Soak it all in, my man.
I'll make a pit stop Friday afternoon at CP. That's happy hour with Corey Clark and Jeff Cameron at Corner Pocket, Appalachia Parkway, Tallahassee, Florida. If I show up, he'll buy me a couple White Claws. Okay.
Maybe. Be cool if you showed up, Aslan. It really would.
I mean, the weather might be good enough. I'd like to be outside. You know me. I like ventilation.
I know you do, buddy. I know you do. They have a nice outdoor area at Corner Pocket. They have a nice patio.
Okay, he tells everybody to hit the thumbs up and subscribe to Warchant, drink the Luna, go Noles, and Atlanta Braves. So there you go. Jimmy Vance is the guy that
Let's hope, Eric.
Yeah, Jimmy Vance wants Edo. We'll see how it goes. I don't know if he's going to show up, but now that he's on the mind, because somebody here talked about Keyshawn Helton being Mr. Clutch, he's going to be the new Warwick Dunn. Don, Bubby, Don, chill. Love you, though, but chill. Our guy, Khalil Young was pointing out Chris Thompson probably should be on that best 5 running back list.
Oh, man.
I always forget him. It's my fault. I should remind you of him. But, yeah, we forgot about him.
I mean, he was awesome in 12. Yeah, Larry Key, too. Then you go through the list. I mean, it's Florida State. It's not like there's just a hole at running back. But, yeah, man, flipping there, Chris Thompson, man. If not for that knee injury, he was having such a great season, man. He was the best player on that team. On that offense, and that was a good team. That was a good team. That went 12-2. It'd have been really cool if he'd have gotten to play that whole year. He'd have put up some huge numbers.
There's our guy in Naples. His name is Mark.
Mark is the man.
Fitty Bones. Mark, thank you, man. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Joel. Thank you, Ray. Thank you. There's like 5 other people I got to thank, but I really mean I'm just bad at this stuff. But I do. If you guys ever come to the corner. The way I hugged you guys at Corner Pocket before the Notre Dame game, you guys felt that, right? That was something different. Mark says, evening, what would you want to see more? 3 options he gives us. 1, Manny Diaz gets fired. Miami makes another bad hire. That's probably not going to be it for me. 2, Cousin Eddie takes the Dolphins or Jaguars job. Cousin Eddie being Dan Mullen. Or Dr. Dabo takes the LSU job. Oh, those aren't. Come on, Mark. You got to put a little more salaciousness in that. Anything that would hurt the University of Florida, I would take. I don't know if. Yeah, I mean, Mullen's a good football coach. I don't know who's out there that I think is going to instantly make them better offensively, or I don't know. Maybe we have to worry about the recruiting prowess. But I would say him leaving for the NFL. That'd be cool. What about you, Corey?
That's probably your best one. I don't think. Look, Miami's not going to make a good hire. I mean, it's what we have enough evidence now to know that it's just Miami. This is what they are. They're 7-5, 8-4, 5-7 for all of eternity. Dabo taking the LSU job would be really bizarre. I couldn't fathom it. But yeah, I would like to see that just because it would make the ACC easier for Florida State. But I would think Mullen would probably be the best bet for Florida State. I agree with you. I just think Mullen's he's an offensive guru, man. He's a very good offensive coach. I don't know that he's a championship coach though. And the worry at Florida is occasionally they'll hit one. They've made a lot of bad hires over the last 50 years. When they hit 2 pretty good, and so you're always wondering if that other guy's out there that could turn a decent program into a championship one. I don't think Mullen's that guy, so maybe you want to just keep him at Florida. But he's also not Muschamp or Zook. You know what I mean? Like we know what he is, and he's pretty good. You'd rather Florida you'd rather him leave and Florida hire an awful coach, but there's also a chance they could hire a great one.
So that prospect out of Mississippi, Trevion Williams, he decommitted here. I guess he made it official. Apparently it's been trending that way. So he joins the Lou Boz, 2 guys that have decommitted from Florida State here recently. So
okay.
Hey, Travis Hunter, though. I mean, you just make sure you don't decommit. Be a man of your word.
Yeah.
Step up, step out.
Got a lot of people down here counting on you, buddy. And I saw a post on the chat, which is true, and I brought it up before. The NIL money is unique to Travis Hunter here. Like, I just think if he goes to Georgia, oh, cool, man, you're another 5-star. Well, we got a bunch of those. Join the list. And you're never going to be as popular is our not all that talented quarterback. I can promise you. But at Florida State, you will be the man. And I just think he has, if he's just looking at it from a purely financial situation, I would think there'd be more NIL opportunities at a place like Florida State than at Georgia, where they have a bunch of 5 stars on that defense already. Travis, I'm just looking out for you, man.
Yeah. All right. Gosh, I hope I didn't miss anybody here on the donation train. The tips. So I gotta get like a buzzer tips. Let's see here. Evan Land, what's up, guys? I'm from Marion County, Florida. We've got a big district championship this Friday night between one-loss Bellevue and undefeated Ocala Vanguard. Y'all got any big local games you're looking forward to?
Florida State, UMass, coming up on Saturday at noon on, I assume, the ACC network, if that's still a thing. So yeah, that's the big one around here, man. That's a great idea by Gary Parker. Buy Travis Hunter a World Series ticket? Yeah, absolutely. Perfect. Yep. Now that we got that Ray Pereira money, we might have a chance to get one of those left field seats behind those college kid idiots.
By the way, Ed, the gentleman that you tweeted or you mentioned there, it's a kid, the Williams kid from Mississippi. Hey man, Mississippi and Alabama kids never count the chickens before they're hatched on those. It's always difficult to extract them from the hometown, but we persevere. Rob Rathbun's here, Corey. Gosh,
Pillar.
Dollar bills.
Hey, Rob, we appreciate you, man. Thank you. Tweeted us the other day. Says he loves the show.
Oh, that's nice.
Proof.
I didn't see that.
Proof on the screen right there.
The silent assassin never asks a question, never really says anything, just donates.
Yeah,
but we do appreciate it.
He says why he never asks questions is because everybody already asks good questions on the show, so he just would rather just sit back and watch. So, well,
Rob, next time you're in the chat, man, and you, even if you're not donating, just tell us, how you met your wife or favorite memory from childhood if you don't want to ask a question.
Or something Florida State related, maybe, instead of talking about your wife.
Well,
that's
whatever.
Fine, So there's the comment Corey was talking about. Yeah, I don't know, though, man. I think there's probably more money in the Atlanta metropolitan area than there is in the Tallahassee metropolitan area.
Yeah, but I don't know how much Travis Hunter's name, image, and likeness means anything in Atlanta. Like, look, if we're talking about above board, like actually giving the kid money for a service of actually advertising something, there's a lot of sports. There's Trae Young, there's Freddie Freeman, like there's people in Atlanta and also Athens. Like literally, Travis Hunter would walk onto campus tomorrow and be the most popular athlete on the Florida State campus. At Georgia, you're not. I saw it firsthand, buddy. Stetson Bennett. What's up, Stetson? What's up, Stetson? What is Stetson Bennett? The 14th best player on that team? The 18th best player on that team? And also, you're with N'Kobe Dean. You're with all these other guys that just I don't know that being a big-time 5-star cornerback recruit, because they got 2 of them already. They got 2 other 5-star corners. It moves the needle like it would at a place like Florida State coming off the seasons they've had. He will come to Florida State as a conquering hero just for sending a fax. He will be a conquering hero at Florida State, and he'll have 3 years of being a conquering hero.
I can only imagine you in 2015, like, why would Derwin James want to come to Florida State when they already got Dalvin Cook, when he could be the guy, at Florida, really.
Well, they're right, but they're with the NIL thrown in. Like, yeah, man, I don't, would any of us be like surprised if Travis Hunter was like, you know what, I think I'm going to stay in Athens. I'm going to go to Athens. Like, well, no, just like we weren't surprised when Dalvin Cook spurned Florida and spurned Miami and spurned Clemson to go to Florida State. It made sense. He decommitted from everyone. But I just think now in 2021, 2022, the landscape has changed, and you do have a chance to make some real money if you're in Travis Hunter's shoes before you go to the NFL.
Benjamin, we're not the recruiting guys, but what somebody asked us, like what the over-under would be, like 15. I think I said under on the class. I still think they're definitely top 10. I'll pull it up right now, Corey.
Well, they've got guys out there still, right? Like there's still plenty of dudes they're pursuing, and a couple of legacies.
Yeah.
With Armala and Marvin Jones Jr. And there's a lot of it's not like, other than like Alabama, it's in, I guess, Clemson, sure, and Georgia, those schools, but it's not like there's not a lot of stability at Florida State. You know, you look around and like, okay, LSU's 10th right now. Okay, who's LSU's coach? You know, there's some instability at some of these other places, and somebody is going to go to LSU, so that'll cause some instability somewhere else, and the dominoes start falling. So, you know, I wouldn't be stunned if they still had a top 10, top 8 recruiting class, even with a 5-7, 4-8 type season.
Yeah. They're 9th right now for the people
Yes.
listening on the podcast. I can't see this graphic. They're 9th. So 1 5-star, 7 4s, and 8 3-stars right now. But they were sandwiched between Oklahoma and LSU. And
Clemson. I mean, look at that. I mean, look at that neighborhood that they're in right now. Now it'll change. What are we? Middle of October. But that's a pretty good neighborhood to be in right now.
Tom Mortner, I was checking out the roster last night. Why do we have so many freshman tight ends? And none of them are better than number 4?
Well,
tight ends. I don't know their ages, but they got a lot of tight ends.
They do.
3 backs.
They do. They got Biscuit, Marquiston Douglas. They got our man, the kid from Alabama, Jackson West.
Yeah.
I don't know what Boatwright is. He's probably still a freshman.
Yeah.
Man, they got a lot of them. Probably too many. I'll be honest with you. Probably went a little overboard on the top when they were looking for tight ends. But number 4, as we'll refer to him here, Jordan Wilson, is on the field because he's big and can block. You know, he hasn't proven to be the most adept pass catcher. He's had a couple actually really big drops this season, but he can block. He can set the edge a little bit for a tight end, and that's why he's on the field. I don't think they think those other tight ends can block. Well, they know they can't block like him yet, and when you're using a tight end to catch a pass, you're using Cam McDonald. So I think they like the I keep forgetting his name, the kid from Alabama, Jackson West. Yeah, I just said it. They like him. I think they like his potential. He's certainly got some nasty in him, but he's young, really young.
Don't forget about Preston Daniel, Wyatt Rector.
That's right. Yeah, they're everywhere.
They got so many tight ends. Look at this, Shane. Shane's here, y'all. Sorry. Listen, Shane, sit down, man. You work hard for your money. We don't ask you. We don't tell you what to do with it. You somehow feel the need. You like giving your hard-earned money to Corey and I. You just gave us 100, and you start off with, sorry, guys. What are you sorry about? What? You're the man. It's a non-game week. Wait till Clemson week. I got something for you.
Okay, nice. And then we'll be back for the NC State game. All right. Well, that's good. NC State game is going to be a big one. Shane, I can't wait to see you and Michelle. That'll be fun. And yeah, it's not just I don't think the money's just for us, Aslan. I think in a way it trickles down to all Florida State fans.
Yeah.
So trickle down economics. You see all these cool things that Aslan can do with the video, the way we were able to afford Jeff Cameron. It all trickles down. And Tom Lang, it all trickles down from this. So Shane, thank you very much, man. Again, as many ultras as you can ever drink or on me for your lifetime. For your lifetime.
Speaking of video, I don't know if you don't really make announcements about this stuff, but Tom and I are going to have some stuff at our disposal that's going to make everything a little bit cooler, a little bit more enjoyable.
Is it going to be one of those cameras from Fox, like that's like the 8D?
The red camera, yeah, the red camera.
Is that what we got now?
No, not quite.
Oh, sorry.
But yeah, we're going to have access to some stuff that's going to make your guys' viewing experience a little bit better, significantly better, I think. But I don't want to oversell it.
Nice.
So Shane's got something for y'all, or for us rather, next week. We'll let you know what we got for you here sooner than later. Wes,
Shane, you're the man. Wes, you're the man.
Yeah, 10 to 15. He says in recruiting, he keeps up with this stuff. I believe him.
And again, I think at 10 and 15, let's hope Mike Norvell's career record gets to that point here soon. I think he's 5 and 10 now, right? Sure. Well, we don't want him to be 10 and 15, but that actually, if he was 10 and 15, that'd mean you're making some strides a little bit, which is, it is what it is. But yeah, I think that you're 9 now. You have some guys out there you can get. You really do. And things change over the next 2 months. So we'll see. I still have faith. And whether you finished 9th or 14th, it's better than you should be expecting, or 17th, when you finish 4-8 or 5-7. It is a good sign that they can put together a class like this, if it holds up, when they're not getting great results on the field as of yet.
Ray asks, our guy Ray Pereira of $499.99 fame on top of, I think he might have done 5 Benjis even before the Notre Dame game. You all know who Ray is. Is Akeem Dent a 5-star bust? Certainly hasn't lived up to his potential. I always get, I wouldn't want to say this to his face, but if he was in front of me, like, Akeem, like, I thought you were going to be amazing. I think you probably thought you were going to be amazing. And you haven't been anything really close to amazing. Not that you don't have time to get it, but I just wonder when it's going to happen. It's unfair that, like, he didn't ask to be a 5-star. I mean, I'm sure he wants that, but, like,
right.
Yeah, I mean, I went and watched him with Michael Langston. It was one of our first trips that we did when I got this job. We went down, did spring tour, and I was like, man, he looks legit. Like, okay, like, that looks like a 5-star to me. I thought he was going to be ball hawking, stay on your hip, not only game changer, but I thought he was going to be a really good cover corner. He has not been that. I don't even know really where his position or his fit is with this defense right now, unfortunately. So you're getting reps out of him, but you're not getting a lot of production. So I'd have to say the B word. Yeah.
I would say, I mean, you have to answer it at this point, yes, with the caveat that people turn their careers around. So he's not done. He's not a redshirt senior. So maybe something, he figures out something and becomes the player we all hoped he would be. But yeah, I mean, look at it, man. Just be honest. He's in his 3rd year at this school. He has a hard time getting on the field in a secondary that doesn't have a ton of NFL talent. In a defense that's middle of the road, a mediocre defense, he has a hard time getting on the field. So yeah, he has not been the player they thought they were getting. Man, I don't know what happened, because he was a good player in 19. He just dropped 8 interceptions. He could not catch, but he showed the ability to be around the football. And I thought he was going to be really good. I thought he was going to be a star, and it hasn't turned out that way. So that's a bummer. I'm not going to label him a bust yet, though. I would say if we're talking about right now, 2021, sure, but he's still got a couple years, you hope, to figure it out and maybe turn his career around. It's happened before.
Man, I don't mean to do our guys at Rivals dirty, but man, Garrett Wilson was ranked behind him. Nakobe Dean was ranked behind him.
That Trayvon Walker kid at Georgia's pretty good. Yeah,
that hurts. That hurts. But hey, man, never too late to turn it all around, Akeem. Get out there.
There is some talent there, though. And I'm not one that just like, oh, he was ranked a 5-star, he must be great. I mean, I feel like we all saw Jaden Large-Woodby pretty early on. It's like, oh, okay, this looks different than other 5-stars that have come to Florida State. Like, just because you have a 5 by your name doesn't mean that I automatically assume you're awesome. But he showed a lot of potential as a freshman. It wasn't empty. It wasn't just, oh, he killed, he was good in high school, or at camps. Like, he legitimately showed he could play at this level and be around the football. And then last year happened and he wasn't very good at all. And then this year he moved positions and still has a hard time getting on the field and making a lot of plays. So
trying to pull up his grades here as we do try to move along here.
Hey, while you're doing that, Marie and Dustin, that's who I wanted to give a shout out to. They're from Louisville. I've met them, I don't know, 9 or 10 times. It seems like every time I'm in the Louisville area for anything, they're there. They're not stalkers. They're very nice people. They're actually in Indianapolis and met me and my son and Stephanie for the basketball tournament, March Madness back in March. We sat next to them. Me and Brady did for the March Madness game against Michigan, the Sweet 16 game. They were down here for the Notre Dame game. Very good people. They sent Stephanie, not me. Marie sent Stephanie because she's the more likable of the coupling. That's what we call it, I think, right? A coupling. When you date someone, you're coupling. She sent us Stephanie, a big care package with all this bourbon infused treats from candy to like sauce you can pour on steak, all this stuff that's bourbon. I got some stuff right here. I'm not going to go through all of it, but bourbon peanuts. I mean, it's all bourbon. It's all bourbon. It's all awesome. It was way too kind, just like most of you people are way too kind. And I wanted to say I really do appreciate it. And I'm sure I'll see them again anytime I'm in the Midwest region.
Keem Dent's actually hitting a stride. He's above the 60-point threshold, 60 grade threshold on PFF. So we shall see.
Okay, see, he's growing. He's growing, man.
Kevin Saldana's in the crib. Kev, thanks, man.
Hey, dog.
Small pillar here, LOL. Question for Corey. Ooh. Corey Clark, would you rather Florida State win out or the Braves win the World Series? Be honest. Don't lie, Corey. Thank you.
I'm not going to lie. Kevin, come on, man. And everybody knows that my livelihood depends on this university being good at football. I've been cheering for this program since I was old enough to talk. I've been to games since 1982. It's the Braves in the World Series.
All right,
come on, man. Like, come on. Like, even if they went out, which would be awesome for everyone, it's still 8-4. You know, if they won out and it got them to a championship game or got them a spot to play for one, I would think differently. But Braves winning the World Series without, one of the best players in the league injured, beating that juggernaut would be incredible. So I would choose the Braves winning the World Series. I think both of them have about the same a percentage of actually happening because I'm an Atlanta sports fan, so I'm pessimistic by nature. But yeah, I would choose the Braves winning the World Series because it would be such a stunner. I mean, good grief. I don't expect them to win another game after that nonsense from yesterday.
I thought that guy set you straight on Twitter about knock it off with the woe is me fatalistic Atlanta Braves fan. And you're like, you know what? You're right.
I was clearly being sarcastic.
Oh, were you? I believe you.
No, I actually wasn't. I just have a hard time not falling right back into Braves fandom, which is expect the worst. It doesn't, like I've talked about before. What good does it do me to expect? And that was what was so upsetting about yesterday was I was legitimately allowing myself to believe like they're going to win this game and then they're going to be up 3-0. Half the Dodgers fans had left. Can you imagine being in an NLCS game with your team down in the late innings and leaving? That's nuts. What kind of fan does that? And so I was genuinely allowed myself to believe they're about to go up 3-0 on the Dodgers. The Dodgers might pack it in. They might sweep this thing. To now, I'm pretty sure they're not going to win another game. I think that awoke the sleeping giant, that home run that Bellinger hit. But what gives me hope, Aslan, not hope, but what let me sleep last night is it's not like they blew it. It's not like Luke Jackson came in and hit two guys and Dansby had one go through his legs and they walked the bases loaded. Like the Braves were lucky to get the runs they got. And then Bellinger just hit a pitch at his shoulders. It was 96 miles an hour. Like Luke Jackson pitched it right where he wanted to. And the guy who hits that? He was 3 of 31 on the season pitches there this season. I mean, that's exactly where Luke wanted to pitch it. And it just did not work out because it's this is live because it's the flipping Dodgers.
I mean, are we being almost not irresponsible? I mean, there's a lot of things people do with microphones that's irresponsible. But I mean, I'm giving it oxygen. You're not. But us talking about them like winning out, their ceiling. I mean, every game is winnable. We can agree on that. But like the likelihood that they go and win, 6 games. I mean, shoot. I mean, they would win 8 games in a row. They would end the season winning 8 games in a row. I don't know, what are the things that we saw that we shouldn't forget, I guess, Corey, not to be like a downer, but I mean, are there certain things there's things they can get out of their system and not have happen again, but like, do you really purge all that stuff out in 3 weeks? And like, what are the egregious things that they did do that we should still be fearful of? I just think the defense, I can't see the defense sliding back that badly. I can obviously see them not, shutting down a first-round NFL draft pick again, although I don't know how many more are left on the schedule. I think the defense has reset what their floor and ceiling is. If Jordan Travis stays healthy, your offense is going to score 30 points. It just seems like that's what it's going to be. But again, like I was on an ACC radio show, and I think they brought me on to be like the negative guy about Florida State. I'm like, actually, no what, man, things are all right now. So I don't know, man. Winning out just sounds. I mean, why would I even go there after 6 weeks ago?
Yeah, I mean, Florida's going to be tough. I do think where you play matters. They have not played in an environment. Most of these players have not played in an environment like Clemson or Florida because there weren't crowds last year. And then 2 years ago, most of these guys weren't starting or are good enough to play a lot of snaps. And I just think that's a lot to ask, man. I mean, I wouldn't be stunned, but it's like, if you call heads 8 times in a row in a coin flip, you could win all 8. But, odds are you're going to lose a few of them because it's a 50-50 chance every time. And now that's the thing. Some of these aren't 50-50. Like I think Clemson's 25-75 or 20-80. I think probably the same for Florida. I think NC State's probably 35-65 or 40-60. NC State's good. So, at BC, I think maybe you're probably a little bit. I even feel Florida State has a good chance to win that one or be 60-40 in that one. And I think there's 75-25 to beat Miami. But overall, when you look at these odds, yeah, they're all winnable. But I just don't think that the odds of winning all 6 are these last 5 after UMass. That's a tough ask. It would be awesome. I'll tell you this. That would be a great consolation prize to the Braves not winning the World Series.
Yeah.
Was Florida State winning? I mean, they'd be going to like the Gator Bowl or something. Or they'd be going to like a real bowl if they finished 8-4.
What would surprise you? I mean, would anything surprise you at this point with this team? Like if something caught fire, if something regressed. Both
spectrums. It would surprise me if they didn't win after UMass, and it would surprise me if they won out. It's probably a cop-out answer, but that's the truth. I think they've found where they're a average football team that's playing better, as opposed to early in the season when they're an average football team not playing well. But average football teams go up and down, and they lose to other average football teams. I think Jordan Travis, if he stays healthy, maybe. Again, I think the UMass game can tell us something, and the Clemson game is going to tell us a whole lot. He might be a difference maker where he turns an average team into a pretty good team. Quarterbacks can have that impact if they're special enough. So I'm not saying he is, but that North Carolina game, I got a sense about midway through the second quarter, Jordan Travis isn't losing this game. And maybe I get another sense like that later on in the season. I better have that sense on Saturday, for crying out loud.
By the way, Wednesday practice, when they do that final red zone drill, like the final snap a team in period 10 where they put on the 3-yard line or whatever, they didn't score this time. So
they're not unstoppable.
They're not unstoppable.
That's right.
And I did see not Darren McFadden. I saw Derek McClendon play him about as well as you probably should when they did some good on good stuff. I mean, he literally he defended Jordan Travis like if they were playing basketball. Like he just ran in front of him and kept his hands up the whole time. I'm like, I don't know why more teams don't do that.
Well, don't give me any ideas.
I know. If they're going to win it out, Jordan Travis is going to be Superman. I don't feel comfortable saying that he's Superman. I do need to realize that he's better than what I thought he was going to be.
Yeah, but there's not nearly enough evidence to think he's like that guy yet.
Right.
But yes, it would take him becoming something very, very special for them to win out, in my opinion.
But I mean, again, that's why I was saying Nick Marshall. Nick Marshall kind of came out of nowhere. And again, they're doing things with him.
Now Auburn had maybe a little bit more talent around them. They had I think they had a top 3 pick at left tackle. They had Trey Mason. I feel like they had one big time receiver, maybe. But yeah, a lot of that was Nick Marshall, man. Nick Marshall made that offense go. They all of a sudden just took off, and they ran for a gazillion yards in the SEC championship game because of Nick Marshall.
Joel Davis is back. I've never seen Corey pregame. Where does the Warchant staff hang out?
My house. Usually I drive. I get to the game a couple hours early. I park, and then I just kind of walk to the stadium with all my admirers.
Yeah. You walk by the outfield of Hauser, though, so if he wants to set up there, he might be able to intercept you.
Yeah, that's true. I walk by the sod cemetery. What's crazy, did I tell this story that I went with Stephanie and her daughter pregame? I walked around with them pregame before the Syracuse game. And normally, and this isn't a brag, but if I'm walking around at a Florida State event, especially with there's thousands of people in these parking lots. Somebody will come over and say, "Hey, man, fan." I in fact at the and this is more of a testament to Warchant and our reach, and than necessarily me. But at the Braves game, the one I left early, the guy sitting 3 seats down came over to me. His name was Lance. He just told me he was a big fan. He liked Warchant, and he was a big fan. That was at a Braves game. So normally when I'm at a Florida State game, 4 or 5, maybe a handful of people come and say, hey. Every now and again, somebody will even take a picture, which is crazy. Not crazy. I'm not calling you people crazy. If you want one, by all means. So Eva asked me before we got there, she's like, are people going to recognize you? And I'm like, yeah, Eva. Yeah. I mean, who are you? Who do you think you're talking? Of course they're going to recognize me. Are you kidding? Do you know what I do? Literally crickets. 30 minutes. I was walking towards crowds. I was walking towards tailgates, like people in pickup trucks, just to see if somebody, and I took my hat off. I was like, maybe they don't know it's me because they can't see the bald head. I took my hat off. Nothing. But walking out of North Carolina, literally nobody else in the parking lot. This one man and his family came up to me and told me he was a big fan in Chapel Hill. But Tallahassee, trying to impress my girlfriend's daughter, nothing. It was like I was being punked. So anyway, if you guys see me with I'm not kidding. I was going to say, if you see me with a 15-year-old girl, that's an awful sentence to say, but it's my girlfriend's daughter, and maybe come up and act like you're a big fan, even if you're not, just to make me look cool.
There you go. Troy drops 5 bones in the jar. Thank you, Troy. Appreciate you, man.
You the man, Troy.
He's coming to the UMass game from Wyoming.
Wow.
Would be sweet if I could meet you guys. Let's go.
I'll be at a corner pocket from 5 to 6 at least on Friday night. I don't know when you're getting in town. I hope you're getting in town Friday since it's a noon game on Saturday. Wyoming, huh? Man. Wonder if he's from Laramie. Yeah. Or Cheyenne. Probably.
Troy looks like Cheyenne. This is a Cheyenne kind of guy.
I don't know. Got a little Laramie tint to him, I think. But yeah, man, Troy, I like I said, I don't really know where I usually just walk from the parking garage to the stadium. There's not really a hangout for Warchant. Maybe we'll fix that next year. I feel like a lot of people, we should have our own tailgate, honestly. As long as we're not drinking much, who cares if Gene should get a parking pass and we should have a tailgate set up in one of the lots. But yeah, I'll definitely be at corner pocket. Jeff and I will be doing the happy hour from 5 to 6. And I'm sure I'll be there a little after that. So come on by and say, hey, man.
Troy thought I forgot about him. I didn't, man. Your comments on the screen. I hope I didn't forget anybody else. There's a lot of conversation going on, so it starts knocking off these super chats, which I need to do a better job of putting on the screen. Jason Martin, if you need any validation, Corey, he likes hearing the stories about you and your son. So that's why I keep asking you about it. I like Brady too. So
yeah, Brady has his moments.
Don Rorick, serious question, Corey. If we beat Clemson, will you pop champagne on your head after the game? I was telling Ira, you guys should, I don't know, like crowd surf as a Clemson fan, storm the field after the game, and just like I'll record you guys, just like crowd surf.
Are you going?
I would think so. This is a big occasion, man. I mean,
yeah.
Florida State can beat Clemson for the first time in like what, 5 years?
Since 14, buddy.
Oh, no.
So I can't do champagne because we've already done it. That can't be our thing. That's reserved only for Syracuse wins. So I've got to figure out what Clemson would be. I definitely want to run down the hill. I'm doing that. Maybe I'll slide down the hill with beer. Like I'll be holding an old Milwaukee or something. Okay. They still make those, I assume, and just slide down the hill. But we got to figure out something. But here's the thing. I don't really necessarily want a bunch of props because I feel like you're jinxing it. Like if you bring like a fireworks or something to set off, that just means they're going to lose. And he just brought fireworks into a press box. So we got to figure out something to do. Like I think rolling down the hill is a good start, or maybe jumping in the lake. They have a lake at Clemson. They always said the difference between Clemson and Auburn is Auburn doesn't have a lake. So we could go jump into the lake. You could film us doing that, or film me doing that. I'll do that.
I think we
let people vote.
You guys should just do the Warchant rap at Dabo's table. Since he won't be there, it'll take him an hour to get this.
That's right. We'll just set up. Yeah, we'll just sit right there with I'm sure they'll have a Coke bottle and a water bottle. We'll just sit there and do it. The Warchant rap from Dabo's seat.
Christian Williams, who do we expect to be our best wide receiver for UMass? Malik McClain. Give me Malik McClain.
Sure. Yeah, sure. That sounds good. I mean, I would. The easy choice is the two veteran guys, but you're hoping that you get a big enough lead that they let some of the other younger guys play. Malik McLean, they really do like him. He's physical. He's got real skills. You need to get him involved and start. We're halfway through now. You're not a freshman anymore. You've been here since January. So you need to get him making plays in games, even if it's UMass. So I'm going to say him. I'm going to say he's going to have the biggest numbers against UMass because they're going to force feed him the ball.
Good. James B's here, everybody. You knew that already. But the Horn Gang gets a Horn Gang. Not my usual $25. Come on, James. That's like an hour's work, man. For more than 60% of Americans. Just want to show some love. Hey, James, appreciate it. He said that I didn't give him a hug at CP. So next time, James B, you'll feel my warm embrace.
Yeah. Aslan's good for the hugs. Thank you, James. Thank you very much, man. Hopefully I'll see you here at one of these home games. Probably I understand if you're skipping this one, but hopefully you'll be around for a couple other ones.
Wes says that I didn't pull up his promo that he cut at the beginning of the show. I apologize, Wes. Blame it on Joel and Ray.
Yeah, they got you. They got your head spinning.
Yeah. Rick here to defend the players. No kid is a bust just because they don't play up to your expectations. Watch what you say about these young men.
You got it, Rick. Yeah, thanks for keeping us straight, buddy.
I mean, I don't think he's going to be like a bust as a human being, but I mean, if this was like fantasy football where you get to bid on players, like auction drafts, I think some people do for fantasy football, like you probably would put a lot of chips on Akeem Dent to be like, oh, I want him, I want to get him, and then I don't think he's lived up to the investment. But then, hey, they didn't have to. There wasn't an investment of anything more than a scholarship, which is what everybody else gets. So,
right,
I get your point there. Rolling along here, Wes is on the Jordan Young breakout train. Best week of practice of the year. We try to get him. We try to get Norvell to maybe go on and talk a little bit more about Jordan Young, but he wasn't buying it. So
it just seems like if it hasn't happened yet at that position, it probably isn't going to take, especially that position, because it's not like they're stacked. But again, you never know, man. People make leaps. Rod Owens wasn't, I don't feel like Rod Owens did anything much until 2009-ish. And then he was really good. So it could happen. I hope it happens. I hope it happens for him. He stuck it out. None of those other wide receivers that came in with that class stuck it out. So I hope good things happen to Jordan Young.
Jimmy Vance saw this on Twitter after the UMass win. Over their last 10 games, Mike Norvell, Manny Diaz, and Dan Munn will all be 4-6 over their last 10.
Man, that's crazy. Come on, the state of Florida. I know you guys don't want Miami and Florida to be good. Yeah, truthfully, I don't either. But look at that stat. That's crazy. That's nuts. And what's UCF doing? They're not doing well either, right? And I know they lost their quarterback. South Florida just got blown out at Cincinnati. Like not a great year for the state, except for the Bucks, I guess.
Yeah, not too bad. Not bad of a consolation. Ed's here, everybody. Good. Look at Ed.
Guys, this is a very special occasion. The Godfather himself has been kind enough to grace us with his presence. The Godfather. This is his damn house. He lives here. He's 20 feet away.
Somebody wanted to a gift pack or a sample bag of DeLuna, and I'm trying to find the comment they left on YouTube. I replied to them, but I can't find it now, so I'll just give up on that and just give all the praise to our guy Ed, his son Brett, and their lovely wife and mother, the matriarch of the Lemmix clan, Courtney. They run DeLunaCoffee.com. Ed just dropped $50 to us because he appreciates the support we give him. Hey, Ed, we appreciate your support. Tumblers, the K-Cups. I got my stuff over here.
Graffiti Bridge.
Yeah, look at Corey knowing stuff. I can't wait for it to get a little bit. I thought it was going to be winter. I thought winter was here, but it's not. It's still summer in Tallahassee. But when winter arrives, I got this bag of hot chocolate I can't wait to make. So check out DeLunaCoffee.com, everybody. Use that promo code WARCHANT15. Support the Noles. Support Ed. Support the show.
Thank you, Ed. You know you're the man, buddy. Thank you very much.
I think Edwin's shouting out the muck. He's from Pahokee. That would be Akeem. You're right. That was part of it, man. Those guys down there, Pahokee, man. Anquan, lots of love. Eric Moore.
Wasn't Anton Smith from down there too? Or Anton, I guess. Yeah, man, they've done all right by Pahokee.
Let's see here. Let's see what the score is. People want me to pull up. Have they scored? Oh, Braves up 2-0 in the second, Corey.
Why are you doing? I don't want to know that. Don't want to know that. Don't need to know that. That's just going to make me want to watch. I've told myself I'm not even watching tonight. I'm going to go on a walk with Stephanie for 3 hours.
Yeah. Carol says to be brave or not to be brave, Corey. Keep the faith for the Seminoles and the Braves as a true, loyal, and faithful fan.
Hey, I'm trying. I am faithful. Well, I'm not faithful. I'm true and loyal, but I don't have a lot of faith in the Braves. I do have a lot of faith in Florida State. And truthfully, I already got a World Series. It would be really cool for my son, now that he's at an age where he is a sports fanatic, to be able to cheer for cheer for a World Series team. That would be really neat. I'd be, because I was lucky enough that my dad took me to a lot of those games in the 90s after suffering through horrendous seasons in the 80s. And it would be cool to give Brady some of that too. Like at least get him to a World Series. And if I have to fly to Boston or Houston or LA to do it, I'll do it.
Gregory says the Clemson game will tell us how the rest of the season will be.
Probably. Yes. I don't disagree with that, but it's like these opponents are so different. Like nobody scores on Clemson. The number one team in this country scored 3 points offensively against Clemson. Boston, everybody scores like 14 points. That's what they do. Georgia Tech scored 8. Syracuse 14 at home. Boston College 14. Like Clemson just doesn't give up points. So if you go up there and score 10 or 17 points and lose by 6 or lose by 13, I don't necessarily think that means your offense is taking a step back or regressed. I think it means you've hit your head on the ceiling on what you can accomplish against that defense. NC State at home was the one, and NC State's good.
OT though, two OTs.
Well, that's right. Yeah. So yeah, well, I think it was just the one, right? And then Clemson didn't score on theirs, and that they should have. Look, NC State should have scored 24 in regulation. The kid shanked the easiest, just a really easy field goal. They're not immovable, but yeah, I don't know. That's why I would be hesitant to judge just on Clemson if the offense doesn't play well, to say, oh, okay, well, they can score against North Carolina, but not against. Let's see what they do against BC and Miami, against the average defenses, because the last few years they haven't been able to do jack squat even against average defenses. So those will be tests too. But I get what you're saying. I agree. If they play that game hard and well and close, you feel good about it, I think.
Matthew Sims, Chuba getting mop-up duty this weekend. I would think so.
You hope, man. You hope there's something to mop up. You hope you're not in a game in the fourth quarter against this awful, awful football team. That would be a bad sign. But yes, Chuba, it just wouldn't make any sense if you have a comfortable lead and you know you're not going to lose, to get him some meaningful reps. And how meaningful are they against UMass? Well, I don't know, but they're more meaningful than Tuesday afternoon.
Keith Bamball, Corey, a little while ago, but I sent you a Mythbusters bamboo video. Did you get it?
I don't remember it. So I don't know how you sent it to me, what platform you used. I don't remember seeing a bamboo video, but I can go look that up on YouTube.
Quantrell knows FSU basketball ranked 20th in the AP poll. Too high or too low, Corey?
I think it's about right. Number 2 in the ACC was a little surprising to me, especially because they lost what they lost. But that's what Florida State is now, is all these writers. They don't know really anybody that's on the Florida State roster, but they know Leonard's team always outperforms what they pick them to do. So they're like, okay, well, now if you're going to outperform us, literally like 6 years in a row, Florida State's finished higher than they've been predicted preseason. Well, now if they do that, they're going to win the conference. And I was actually over there at practice today. I got to watch them practice for about an hour and a half for the first time. Impressive. I watched, some of you might care about this. Caleb Mills, he had some weird reaction, I guess, where he wasn't able to practice. He ate something weird, but he was still able to shoot. But they just didn't want to risk it. And I stopped watching after he made 28 straight free throws. So again, it's practice. Nobody, but it is a pure shot, man. It is a pure shot. Matthew Cleveland has a nice looking shot too, and he is an athlete and he's big. Some of their guys, they're just, the McLeod kid's 7'3", and just he runs. He's big, and then the John Butler kid, he's the one you mentioned. That's like 7'1", 180. Yeah, man, you see it.
190.
You see it. It's crazy. Him and I weigh the same size, weigh the same, I think. And he's 15 inches taller than me. But he can shoot. He's not a post guy. He's a 4. He's a wing guy. He just happens to be 7'1", but he's got a really nice shot too, man. I think they have a chance to be something.
Troy says he's from Cheyenne, Wyoming.
You nailed it, Aslan. You nailed it.
I live in Montana. I can tell. I can tell, man. I got my Western mountain roots on me. All right, man. I think we got through everything here. Matthew Sims, you think Mullen is not long for Gainesville?
I think that would be his choice. Maybe next year. I mean, they're 2-7 in their last 9 against Power 5 opponents, I think, or 2-6 in the last 8. But then they got Georgia coming up, so that hopefully is a loss. And I just don't think the seat is that warm yet. Maybe if they struggle again next year, but that quarterback, if he plays the right guy, they're going to put up a ton of points. That guy's good. Mullen's a very good offensive coach, and that quarterback is dynamic, which is a bummer because he's a freshman. So I don't foresee them getting rid of him, even though he's weird and creepy and odd. I do foresee maybe him being interested in something else. And we lost Aslan.
No,
there he is.
Just want to get
a little night shift.
A midnight shift there. Well, actually, one last one. We'll let Wes cut his promo here, but Buddy Kennedy, could you keep his kind of tight though, of course, so you can go watch a Braves game and so I can go catch up on Succession?
I'm not watching the Braves game.
Come on, really?
I might tune in. We'll see.
Jordan Travis versus 1992 Charlie Ward.
Oh, okay. I don't know how to rank that. Charlie wasn't very good, especially the first half of 92. He was a turnover machine. But I felt like he was still more of a natural passer even then than Jordan Travis was. But Jordan Travis is a better runner, so you got that going for you. Charlie was mobile, but he wasn't this kind of athlete. He wasn't this kind of runner. But yeah, okay, I'll say, look, Jordan Travis is the 1992 Charlie Ward. We're hoping next year he's the 1993 Charlie Ward. There you go. How about that?
As our guy Wes in the Village just says on your way out, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to the YouTube channel as well as Warchant, and support DeLuna Coffee. Go Noles. Thank you all for your questions. We really do appreciate it. Shout out to Troy and Cheyenne, James B., Ed, the Godfather, Kevin, Rob, Mark, Eric, and you guys, man. You guys.
Too nice.
Ray,
you guys are too much.
Ray and Joel. Yeah, man. Incredible, man. Our job's awesome. You're part of it. You're part of the reason of it, too. So thanks again, everybody, for watching and listening. Don't forget, Jeff Cameron Show, 1 to 3 p.m. on Thursdays and Fridays. We'll have one more show for you. And Corey will be hanging out live in the flesh, 5 to 6 p.m. at Corner Pocket on Friday. So be out there for that. But don't forget, we got one more show, so we'll do that.
Yeah.
He's Corey. I'm Aslan. Go Braves. Go Braves.